And welcome to the show, the G1 Project TV broadcast with special guest, Stafford's Music Studio.
Thank
What's
you.
up, brother Dave? What's going on, man?
Just a Tuesday night, another day of work in the books. Just trying to make it through the week. How about you, my man?
I'm doing all right, man. I was off tonight. I didn't have to go into work, of course,
Nice.
which is you can plainly see that now.
Mhm.
But yeah. So I just said, you know what? I'll go live for a while, and I figured I'd ask you if you wanted to, and why not?
Yeah,
you know?
it's good to keep testing out this new equipment anyway. So
It is, yeah, it is. Yeah, it's good. I'm trying to pull up anything if we got something going on here. Don't know. I mean, this is totally spontaneous. I wasn't planning on doing this, and I said, "What the hell, man? Why not?" You know.
yeah, well, I think there might have been a thumbnail up.
A what now? A
A
thumbnail?
thumbnail up saying that we were going live. Like, that was a oops.
It might have been. Who knows, man? Who
Yeah.
knows? I don't. This is just. I love doing stuff on the fly. I mean, I've always. That's always been a big deal to me. To me, it's keeps things fresh. You know.
I'm that way too, man. I really am. It's always like I said, it keeps it fresh. And I mean, for me, it's the middle of the week, middle of the work week right now. So it's kind of nice to, we can't go out, can't do anything. So I was just playing some guitar earlier and testing different things out. And so yeah, hanging out live is definitely a cool
Yeah,
thing.
man. I played some earlier today as well, and jammed along to your song "Quarantine," which was a lot of fun, man. I'm really glad you put that out there for people to jam along with. That's really fun. I was looking at. I don't know yet. I gotta see if I can have time to do another one, but I was wanting to possibly look at Guitar Meets Science. He's got a jam along thing going too, where it's kind of like a. I don't know, kind of like a twang. Can you twang or something? I think is what it's called. And he's got what's his name? Magic Jones is on the drums, I believe. Doing that.
Yeah, I seen him doing a collaboration live on that, and then like I said, I've seen a couple entries to that, and I thought I need to get to it, and because everything he does is fun, and yeah, your entry, man, that was amazing.
Oh man, I appreciate it. It was Jimmy Biter. Hey man, thanks for popping in the chat. Yeah, it was
Hey,
just
Jimmy.
it was a lot of fun, man. It's something different, and like I said, that's what keeps things fresh, and that's why I was thinking about again to Jimmy's, not that Jimmy, but Jimmy from Guitar Meets Science. Thinking about maybe trying to. I don't know if I can do something with it or not. I just have to have some time. I just got lucky today, man, because I was off of work, and I said, well, I'm going to do David Stafford's play along. I think that would be fun to do. So, is there a deadline for that?
No, I should probably make a deadline, like, 'cause I'm going to do a premiere. So I think it's been out like what, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Maybe I'll give it another week. I think I got like 13 entries. Then I'll compile them and do a premiere where it's a live chat and all that. So there's a lot of great entries. Like I said, it's not a challenge. It's just a play along. It's something that I wrote like a year ago when we're just sitting around a campfire, and it's not a real in-depth progression, but I mean, it has slight changes and variations. So, but yeah, I try to stay away from things that are actually a challenge. I just more or less like throwing them out as if you want to do something to it.
Right.
Do something to it.
Yeah. I think that makes it more appealing to the person that's wanting to put something with it. I think that if you title, and this is just, we talked about this a minute ago. I'm going to say this again, and I hope nobody takes offense to it. But I think if you title something as a challenge, I think that can be kind of intimidating. I don't know. It may or not be. I don't know. But I just that's why I just kind of shy away from that word.
Oh
But
yeah.
it's just my 2 cents. It doesn't mean that it's right or wrong. I don't know. What do you think?
No, I mean I agree, because I think the minute you say challenge, there's people that, there's a lot of, I guess there is a group of people that probably like the challenge, but overall, I definitely think it could be intimidating, because like, especially we have a pretty small community, so it is not, a challenge is like, whose do I like best or who did it best. There's nothing wrong with it. I love the challenges that I entered, and that there's some type of contest. I think to have some competitiveness is really good too, but at the same time, just because someone's style is different or they haven't been playing as long, I wouldn't want to deter them from, giving it a crack at it, like, so yeah, I think that, invite is is a good thing. I think a challenge is, but I don't personally mind a challenge, but I could see how some players like, oh, maybe they've only been playing a couple years. They're like, well, it's a challenge. I don't really want to, they might think, yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I see what you're saying, man. Bumbleus, Joe, where'd you get that shirt? The Jack Butler is gonna like you. Yeah, that's from the movie Crossroads from what was that, 85 or 86 with Ralph Macchio, and that was the first time I saw Steve Vai, or Jack Butler, excuse me. His character was Jack Butler. And where I got the shirt, man, I just Googled Jack Butler t-shirt on Google, and it pulled up a couple of different places where you could buy it, and that's where I found it. And it was like $25, man. It wasn't really cheap. And of course they charge you like $4 or $5 for shipping, and so it was close to $30, but I didn't care, because I was like, you can't find these anywhere else. I mean, maybe you can, I haven't, but I remember, here's something, David, that's a throwback, man, well, I grew up in Charlotte, North Carolina, right?
Mm-hmm.
I lived there up until I was probably 25 years old. But, back in the early 90s is when I discovered this store, and it was on this main drag in Charlotte called Independence Boulevard. And it was called Rock and Roll Emporium. I can't believe I still remember the name of this place, but
wow,
you would pull in there, and it was, how back in the magazine, the days I had like the guitar magazines, circus magazines, all that stuff, you'd see all the cool clothes that the hair metal people would wear, the pants and all that stuff and everything, and the wristbands, the spiked wristbands and all that. Well, it was a store that had all this stuff. It had not only the crazy clothes, but it also had a lot of cool memorabilia. There was actually a clock. It was like a piece of wood, and it was a clock, but the picture on the wood was Eddie Van Halen playing this guitar, and it had a clock, and he put a battery in the back of it, and it was, and I bought that clock, and I bought a couple of Van Halen items, but they had all kind of cool stuff in there. And I don't know, you walk in that place, and I was like, man, this is awesome. I could never wear anything like this because it just doesn't suit me. You gotta have a certain look about yourself to pull that off, and I never had that look. But Dave's like, no kidding, look in the mirror, bitch. but I was just like, damn, I said, this is really cool. I said, I don't mind coming to this store. And then when Grunge moved in, man, it wasn't long, man, that store was gone. And it was a pretty good sized store. And it was gone, man. It was gone. It was there for 2 or 3 years, and it was gone, man.
Yeah, I tell you, Grunge really bummed me out, man. Not that I like my Alice in Chains, and
there's a few songs from that era that I admit that I do like. But for the most part, I really wasn't a huge fan of it.
No, me neither.
I mean, because I don't know, man. I mean, when I first heard some of that stuff come through, I was kind of like, what is this? And then I was like, well, I don't know. Let's give it a chance, give it a shot. Next thing you know, everybody's cutting their hair and all that. And, I was like, whoa, wait a minute, what? But you know, when I look back on it now, I mean, that change needed to happen. Something needed to happen in music because things were just getting too cookie cutter, if you will. I mean, something had to happen. Now, the lifespan wasn't as long as I thought it was going to be. I thought it would last longer than what it did, but
Right.
it was gone just about as quick as it came, I think.
Well, I think it's a huge topic because I grew up listening to my favorite bands, right? And I'd lay there in bed with my Walkman on, and I'm anticipating waiting to hear that epic solo. I'm waiting, and then when you finally hear it, and it takes you and it climaxes and pans out, and and it's just epic. You can't wait for that next album. Then you hear this radio talking about, or MTV, this next big band, Nirvana, or this and that, and so you go listen. You're listening to it, and it's nothing. Well, then, that's when I'm about 12, 13 years old. I'm already been hooked on Ozzy and Metallica and GNR, and and all of a sudden, it went from 4 kids in school that can play a little bit of 80s metal to a couple dozen jamming out Nirvana songs. So all of a sudden, it just, not only did it knock out a lot of the big hair and metal bands of the 80s, it helped out sales for guitars across America and everything. So, I mean, all of a sudden, all these kids and adults probably that were, they were decided not to play guitar because it was too hard trying to learn some of them. Them big hair bands, they looked funny or not funny, cool, however you want to look at it. But they're top-notch players, a lot of that music, and people found out in a real hurry. When they tried to cover those songs, it was that they're like, whoa, it's hard to learn them. But when grunge come out, it was so much more simple to cover. And I just couldn't go down that path. I couldn't do it, man. I never could get into Nirvana. Like I said, there was a couple Alice in Chains. They had just enough talent in some of their songs in their writing with I don't know. Stone Temple Pilots I liked, not that they're even considered grunge, but Alice in Chains. I'm kind of trying to think of like 90s bands versus the 80s.
Yeah. There was a couple of songs by STP I like.
Oh yeah.
And but yeah, the whole Pearl Jam thing and all that stuff.
Yeah, Jimmy.
I just couldn't do it. Jimmy says, what's that? If you guys get bored, check out my channel sometime. I make an attempt at a few Satriani tunes. Wow.
Right.
What tunes would that be, Jimmy? What tunes are you trying to cover? I mean, my hat's off to you, metaphorically speaking. I got my headphones on, so I can't take my hat off. But, man, Satriani is one of my favorite guitar players. Fender Guru, Andrew. Hey, man, how are you?
Andrew, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, how are you? I think years ago I attempted to try to go over like, was it Summer Song or something with Satriani, and I was doing good to do the chords, and all that, and a little bit of the lead stuff, and he just gets he'll lead into something kind of easy, and then he just burns it up, and I'm like, well, I'm done. I can't do that stuff, man.
Yeah, what's that one? Is it Surfing with the Alien? Is that what it's called?
Surfing with the Alien is really good.
Yeah.
I mean, that whole album is killer. That Surfing with the Alien album, I remember the first time I heard Satch on the radio, and I thought it was a Van Halen song, and I was coming down the road, and I just heard that, I was like, whoa, is it? It was kind of had that Hot for Teacher vibe, and I was like, what? I was like, what is that? And I was like, when did the words come in? And I thought, I said, this is incredible. I was like, who the hell is this? And then when it got done, it was, that was Joe Satriani right here on WROQ. And I was like, Joe, who? And so then it was, I think I heard another one of his songs on the radio about a couple of weeks later. And then I went, right away, I went and bought get ready. I went and bought the cassette. That's how long ago this was. I think that came out in 86 or 87?
Somewhere in there. It was definitely in that area.
So I went and bought the cassette and I wore that thing out in my Chevy Cavalier. Yeah, I wore that sucker out. And then I eventually, his next album, Flying in the Blue Dream, I went and saw him on that tour. He came to Charlotte, and I went and saw him, and that's when he still had hair and all that stuff. And he came out 87. Fender Guru says, "Thank you, Andrew."
Thanks.
But yeah, I went and saw him on that concert on that tour. And I remember the opening. I can't remember who the band was that opened up for him. It was some band, I guess he was trying to help out. And I won't never forget the band came out, and the guy luckily he strummed a couple of chords on his guitar before he played the song, and he hit the last two strings, the high E and the B, and they were totally out of tune. And he was getting ready to perform a song, and it was like, I was like, oh crap. And he looks over to stage right and he goes, "Yeah, I'm going to kill my guitar tech." He had to tune his guitar himself right there on the spot. And man, that dude was mad. I mean, he wasn't like throwing a fit, but you could tell he was angry.
Right.
And I was like, uh-oh, that guitar tech just got fired.
Right. Chickenfoot. Yeah. Fender Guru Chickenfoot is an awesome one. I've had a friend asking me for years to do Surfing with the Alien. I've been putting it off. I need to do it. And also Chickenfoot is just that's incredible.
My son introduced me to that band, and he got on board with them way before I did. He's seen them in a concert. I don't know if it's twice or once. I know at least once. But yeah, I mean, you talk about a super group, man. Sammy Hagar, what was it? Michael Anthony, Chad Smith, and Joe Satriani. Holy crap. And their first album, man, it went gold. I mean, a rock album hasn't done that in a long time. You know, that album went gold.
Right.
So it was really cool, man. It was, yeah, I don't guess they're going to do anything else. I think they put out, 2 albums? And then on the third one, they had like a greatest hits. And I was like, because they just never could line up schedules or something like that.
Bumbleist says, my old age attention span won't let me learn solos anymore. I'll tell you what, even for me, if I get away from it for too long, it's like, and then sometimes.
Oh man, if I don't go over, like when I try to go live on Saturday nights, I'm from the South. I say Saturday. It's supposed to be Saturday on Saturday nights. But if I don't go over that little set list, at least for a few hours, a couple of days a week, that's what I have to do, man. Because I just can't retain that stuff anymore.
Right.
I just can't.
Well, like I was telling you, I just learned back-to-back solos by Dave Murray and Adrian Smith from Iron Maiden. And I used to play them a couple of years ago, and then I just finally kind of got them back. And then with work and everything, all of a sudden it was like a couple days, and I didn't play them. And I played them tonight, and I was like, oh, boy. I was like, wow.
Right, yeah.
It's like, I'm going to work on this for a few hours. But, yeah, and then it's just, I think as we get older too, we have more things going on. And it's like, just to get into your zone and clear your mind completely, where it can that's my thing too. It's like I got 5 different things going on that I should probably be doing, and then it's just like you just have to zone in, block everything else out, and just
zone in and zone everything else out. Yeah,
right.
That's the thing about music, though, about guitar playing or whatever. That's the beautiful thing about it, is that when I get in here and I get the headphones on and I'm playing either one, with one of your songs or one of my songs or whatever, a cover, man, it takes me away from all the bullshit of the real world. Right. I'm in my own little world, and I love being in that zone. I love being in that zone. There's nothing like it. And that's what's always attracted me to guitar playing since 1986 is you can create your own thing, man.
Right.
And it's really cool. So let me, I know we only got a few people in the chat, and this is a spontaneous stream. It was not planned. And I thank Mr. Stafford for being so kind to jump on here and hang out with me for a little while.
Oh, definitely. My pleasure.
We're going to throw a phone number up. If anybody wants to call into the show, you're welcome to call in. I will have to screen the call now to make sure there's nothing crazy, but we're going to throw a phone number up. So if you want to call in and be on the show, you're more than welcome to do so. Let me see if I can find it right here. And there we are.
Glasses off.
So there is the number if you want to call in and be a part of the show. And we'll leave that up for a few minutes and see. And you want to share with us what you're doing on the guitar, what you're doing with music, what's your favorite guitar, who's your favorite guitar
grunge
player. Well, I mean, if they want to do that, that's fine.
I'll tell you what, yeah. Oh, grunge killed metal. Just kidding. Nah.
Yeah. If they want to do that, I mean, it's an open forum, man. It's an open forum.
I did a test run on this phone line earlier, so I think it's gonna work all right. So if anybody, call it, and this should work all right. If somebody wants to. It should.
I mean, we're going to see. I mean, we're going to see if this works. If David wants to carry this over to his show on Friday nights, we can do that if he wants to do that. That's up to him. He's the head honcho over on his channel. So
I am. Make sure to put a 1 in front of the 8 too, everyone.
Yeah, 1-864-714-1842 are the phone lines. The phone number for our phone lines. Let's give that number once again, Bob.
That's 1-864-714-1842 for the hotline for the Joe Wentz Project TV live broadcast.
And sponsored by. Wait, sorry, wrong stream.
Wait, that's the wrong show. This show is not sponsored by that company. This show don't have a sponsor.
Oh, I have a made-up sponsor.
This show does not have a sponsor.
No, I think definitely.
Yeah, this show is not good enough to have a sponsor, or this channel, I should say. Lord of mercy. Yeah, it'd be nice, but it makes me wonder how some of these people, man, God dang, some of these channels, I don't see how they do it.
I don't either. I was going to ask the chat too. I watched an interesting video today that was one of my WhatsApp friends. Well, R2. It was him or Bruce put it up in the WhatsApp group. Somebody did. I guess what I should first ask anybody that's here watching, do you guys have Floyd Roses? How many people have a Floyd Rose on their guitar? Because this video was on setting intonation, and I thought it was pretty neat what they have. Sponsored by Jack Butler.
Jack Butler's gonna like you. Yeah.
So Bumble he's got Floyd Rose. Yeah. So this video, yeah. Gosh, let me look. I forget who it was by. I can probably tell you. I can look it up maybe. But anyway, it was showing this tool that kind of looked like a C-clamp.
Do we need to do a screen share?
Not right now because I gotta find it.
Okay. Jamie, Vintage Sounds. Hey man. Thank you for hopping in.
Yeah. Best tool. So see if it pops up here. Okay. So, yeah, it's Helm of the Anti-Lemon put a video out, and it's called The Best Tool for a Floyd Rose, and it's like the C-clamp thing. We can do a screen share if we want, Joe. I can just show them quick.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
I gotta do it here as I get.
Yeah, go ahead and I'll go ahead and let it go on through there, sir, and then you can carry on.
All right. So this is his video, and if you can see, and everybody see that, it looks like this little C-clamp you hook over, and it holds this, I don't know, what do you call it, a saddle, but it holds it in place. But there's a whole process you got to go through, loosening up your tremolo and letting it come up, and then you're supposed to put that on. But anyway, that'll hold it in place, and then
is this so when you change the strings, it stays on the same level? Is that what this is for, or is this
so
something
it's
else?
Intonation. So your intonation, like when you strum your open low E string, okay, and you hear that, and then if you put your finger on the 12th fret low E and you strum it there, it should be in perfect tune in E. And if it's sharp or flat, means you got to move this part and I'm sorry, I'm not real great with this, but it's your intonation, which
Yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
So you don't want to take the string off or anything. So this little device here, it's like a C clamp, will hold that in place when you do the rest of your work, which I thought was nice. You can then move it forward or back, leave the string on, and et cetera, et cetera. But if you guys want, check his video out on that. If you have Floyd Rose's, I don't usually I don't mess with them a whole lot. Like, like R2R3 is excellent at that stuff. And fortunately, my Floyd Roses the intonation's great right now because I really dread that. But that video, I'll definitely reference if I need to get my intonation back on it. So,
yeah. The my son actually showed me how to adjust intonation on a Floyd Rose because I never knew how to do it. It was kind of tricky. But I think some cheaper systems where you would move that saddle, like for instance, on my Jim Jr., in front of the saddle, there's like a screw that drops down, and there's like 2 different spots you can take that screw off and move the saddle up and put a screw in the hole in front of it, or so it's not really. So I was like, well, you really can't fine tune it, so to speak, moving the saddle. If it just needed to move an inch, you have to move it all the way up to the next hole for that screw to go down. So,
well, that's what I was going to tell Jimmy Biter. Yeah, they showed in that video too that there's holes underneath that saddle, so you might have to pull them out. So I was like, yeah, that kind of looked myself, but
Jimmy says that device doesn't work on all Floyd type bridges. I have no idea.
I don't know about that, but apparently there's those holes underneath. You might have to take that screw out and then move the saddle.
Yeah,
back.
That's what I was saying. On some Floyd Rose style tremolos, there's that little screw there, but I have some Floyd Rose systems that don't have that. You can just unloosen the screw and move the saddle where you need it and tighten it back. So I guess I don't know. It's just. What is that? What does he say? Venture Sounds. Look up the what?
The Floyd Rose. It's a look up the key for Floyd Rose. It's a great for intonation.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Pooh Ninja's in the house. What's up,
Pooh Ninja? What's going on, man? I ain't seen you in a long time.
Pooh, are we gonna have another Wednesday video? Usually he put videos out every Wednesday.
Oh wow. Okay. Didn't he just do somebody did a collaboration with him where Pooh was it Pooh that was playing acoustic?
He did a premiere and it was really cool playing, but that was probably the shortest premiere I've ever seen, but it was awesome. I didn't make the premiere, but I saw the replay.
Oh. Okay.
3 this week. Wow. I'll have to check it out, man. Pooh's always got cool videos.
That's awesome. Bumblist says his Floyd slides when you unlock the bolt on the saddle. Yeah, that's how some of mine are as well. And like I said, there's just different types, I believe. So, but yeah, I'm. Now, what were you asking about the Floyd? Was it just because of that tool, or was there something else that you just want to address with that, or?
Not necessarily. I just dread the Floyd Rose. I have.
There's a lot of people that don't like Floyd Roses. I was in the early days. I was kind of. I don't know. I was kind of nervous about changing strings on a guitar that had a Floyd Rose, and I was like, man, I don't know. So then, not really knowing if this would work or not, but years ago, long time ago, back when CDs were still a thing, what I would do is when I was going to change strings on a guitar that had a Floyd Rose, I would I learned the hard way too. One of the worst things I did was I loosened the strings and I cut them all off at one time, which you don't want to do that. But I did do that. And what I would do to try to fix the Floyd Rose, I would take a CD case and I would lift the Floyd Rose up, and I'd put the CD case underneath so it would stabilize. And I'd do that, and sometimes it worked okay, and sometimes it was a train wreck. And then later I was like, instead of loosening all the strings and cutting them off, just do one string at a time. Loosen one string, cut it off, and then replace it and put it back to in tune, and then go to the next string. It takes longer, but that's how I would do it. And now, of course, it's just either way is fine. I mean, but usually I'll do maybe 2 strings at a time.
Yeah, it still seems like no matter. I mean, for me, it doesn't matter 1 string at a time or 2. It's like usually by the time I'm start to finish done, it usually seems like it's a couple hour job. For me, just by the time I get everything tweaked out, the new strings stretched, keeping it in tune where I can lock it in. And,
once you get them where they have to level out. You know what I mean? Which I'm sure you know that, but I've always loved Floyd Roses. But it is, once you understand how they, that adjustment that has to be made with whatever gauge strings you're using, that's a big thing too. Once you get that figured out, man, it's nothing to it, and so I mean, everybody's different, but I've always loved using a Floyd.
I love it. I love it. It's just like there's so much, when you're used to like, Les Paul or some hardtail, it's like pretty quick. You're up and running in a matter of minutes. I mean, even doing a simple string change on a Floyd Rose, it seems like there's a little more tweaking to do, as
Oh yeah, there is
more time. But I mean, like I said, I love my Floyd Roses. I have 3 of them.
Yeah, I have a bunch of them, as you know. I mean, I do have a Telecaster that's just what do you call it, a fixed bridge or whatever. It's and of course I got my Strats, but those Strats, the Fender Strats, they don't have a locking system. Well, I have one, believe it or not, I do have one Strat that I guess they call it a Super Strat is the proper term.
Yeah.
And it's got the humbucker single, and it has an original Floyd Rose on it that I bought from AMS. Damn, it was years ago, and I still have that guitar. That was my first Strat with a locking Floyd that I ever had. And Super Strat, thanks, Pooh. Yeah. And man, I played that guitar for a lot. I still have it today. It's just I don't play it as much, but man, that guitar, that was a playing machine, man.
Yeah, I think too when depending on if you stay with the same name brand strings or what, but I mean, for me, kind of I stretch them after I get them on. I guess the strings. I don't know how anybody else stretches them, but and then it just seems like when you finally got to go through a couple times, get it up in tune, and then get it in tune, and then it comes out, and then you retune it, and then you get it to where it's really close. You lock it in, and then it makes it flatter, sharp, and then kind of fine tune it from there. So, and then I think on my SE one time I wanted to change string gauge, and that was holy crap. That became really problematic.
Yeah, I did that once with we were just talking about him, Joe Satriani. I did that with a Satriani model once. I went from 9s to 10s like an idiot. And man, that was a nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I finally got it back to what it was set up for 9s because I took those 10s off. I said, And so I've been with gauge 9 to 42. I only tried that once with those gauge 10s, and I just didn't. I have to have light gauge strings. I can't play anything higher than that. I just can't.
Well, I wouldn't mind going back to 9s, but everything I get comes with 10s already, just like my PRS custom was with 10s.
Right.
And my Gibson, I do so much low tuning with that. Like I might go to, drop C or A, and it's like so. 9s. I would love to just. I think my next purchase maybe get a guitar that is already set up because, well, like that custom, it's just I don't know. That would probably be tricky putting 9s on there. How they got the springs set up and everything. and the Floyd, I don't know.
Yeah. It's.
Can you hear that? Am I echoing? Do I hear an echo?
No, I don't hear no echo.
Okay, I keep seeming like I can hear myself echo. Maybe not.
No, I don't hear nothing echo.
Okay, good.
Jimmy Biter says he caved and he is in the process of putting Diodario's XTs on all his guitars to reduce string changes. That's very interesting. Bumble says, yeah, higher gauge usually requires a reset, pulls the Floyd forward. Boy, does it ever.
I used to use a lot of Diodarios, and then I've been using the Nano Web Elixir, and
look at there.
Oh, they peel and break. Like, no, I have not had any of them. The only strings that I've had flake off are, I think they're called DR, and they're the lime green ones that I have on my Carvin.
Yeah, 802 Blues. What's going on, 802 Blues? Yeah, I remember we talked about
802 Blues.
Talked about that on your show the other week. That I had a set of those, and they were okay. They were coated, and they started to come off as well.
Web. I'm not trying to push these or anything. I'm just saying I've just made the switch in the last year, and I've really liked them. I've even obviously you buy the acoustic strings, and I've tried them on my acoustic, and so far so good, man. They got great tone. They got some coating on there that there's poly web. This is the nano web, and I don't know. I really like them.
I've never tried those.
You should just try them.
I tell you what I'm wanting to try that I totally forgot about these brand of strings, and it was when I did the last live stream I did playing some cover tunes. Who was it that said that brought that up in the chat? I'm trying to remember who it was, but I can't remember the brand name of the string, but it was the gold strings. Remember those? The gold color guitar strings. Mm-hmm. Man, somebody in that chat said that, and I
can't remember.
I can't remember the name of them. I think the name they used to be referred to as there's another name for them now. I can't remember. Maybe somebody knows. I can't remember, but I would like to try a set of those just because I never have before, and I remember seeing them. What was it Optima Gold? Is that what they were called back then? I could be wrong. But I remember seeing those back in the guitar magazines back in the day, and I never got them because I thought they were like sky high expensive, but I don't guess they're that bad.
No, probably not. 802 Blues says he's regular Ernie Ball, Slinky all the way.
Oh, okay.
And Pooh says Slinky, top heavy, bottom. Yeah, I mean, like I said, whatever works for you.
That's why there's different brands. Pooh also says he's trying to find out what trim setter type device Vi is using on his Pia. It looked like 2 of them. I have no idea. I do know that my son texted me last night and said that those models are going for like $3,500.
Damn.
Steve I's new Pia, the gym models. And I was like, nah, man, I wouldn't pay that much.
Well, I mean, it'll probably only go up as the thing in price,
Yeah, man, but I don't know. I was just glad to get the Gym Junior. I know a lot of people probably look down on that and go, pfft. But
man.
I don't care. I mean, it plays great. I mean, it's a great playing guitar for $500. But Bumbler says, I buy whatever 3-pack I get cheap. Nothing wrong with that, man.
Oh boy,
nothing wrong with that. I've always been a Diodario man. I've always played Diodarios.
That's what I played.
I do have actually in my Gym Junior guitar case. My son last year, for my birthday, he got me a couple of things, but he also got me 2 packs of the Ernie Ball strings that are still in that case. Well, they're behind me. Yeah, sitting right there behind me. That I forgot they was in there when I opened that case up to play that guitar the other day. I said, there's 2 new packs of strings in here. And I said, oh, these are the ones that my son gave me last year for my birthday. And I was like, man, they're almost a couple of weeks from now, they'll be a year old. That's hard to believe. I mean,
Well,
Man.
you know, when I take it back, I played D'Addario forever, but the one guitar, my LP custom, my Gibson, was always the GHS, and there was the GHS boomers. Because like at one point, Zach Well came out with these signature strings where your low E string it was a number 60. That was basically like a high E or whatever on a bass, you know.
Oh wow.
So I thinking about destroying the nut on that thing too, but
That would
and now I'm to the point where I'm sick of playing the heavier gauge strings. So like, you know, 10 to 46 is comfortable range, but I see when I watch people play with nines, you can tell they're nines because they're just watching their vibrato and their bends. It's like, yeah, they're playing nines, and it's like it looks a lot, you know, like a lot more with ease, you know.
Yeah, nines have always appealed to me. The GHS boomers, I remember those. I actually tried those early on in my guitar playing journey. I mean, I was trying different strings early on, just like I'm sure anybody else would.
Well, I'll tell you, Gibson's kind of known for going out of tune once in a while. Those things were like renowned to like stay in tune, and they really did. At least I thought they did.
Yeah. I got some Epiphones that sometimes you have that issue with the strings wanting the G string or whatever. But what I do, man, is I put some, and I'm not making this up. It's a real product, and it's called Big Ben's Nut Sauce, and that's what it's called. You don't believe me? Look it up. It's been around. It's been around for years. It's been around for years. I mean, it's a great marketing gimmick, really. But so whenever I change strings, especially on a Les Paul style guitar or just something like that, it's like in a little syringe, and to me it kind of, the texture reminds me of like Vaseline or something, and it's got you just put a little bit in each slot, man, and that just helps the string slide freely in those slots, and it's a cool thing. I think I got it off Amazon. I probably had it for a year or so now. Paul Lou, what's going on, man?
Paul?
So I mean, I think on Amazon, I think it was like $10, and it's really small. It's really thin, but it doesn't take much. Just a little dab will do you, as they say. 802 Blue says Big Ben's is awesome. Almost every rig rundown it's mentioned. See there?
Yeah, I've seen that.
So yeah, pretty wild. Again, we have a phone number if somebody wants to call in. This is the first time we're giving this a shot. Well, it is on this channel anyway. So if you want to call in and talk a little bit on the show, talk about guitars or whatever, whatever we're touching on here, feel free to call in. We'll put you through right here. It's just a 2-man operation. So
don't be shy. We all know each other.
Yeah, man.
Pooh says they made a drop tune with a 72 for the low E. Oh my God.
Oh, they did?
Oh, that's a drop record.
Holy smokes, man.
Jesus, good Lord. 72. I would need like a special nut and a 7 or 8 string.
Holy smokes. Paul Lou says great collab video. Thank you, Paul. And thanks to Mr. Stafford for providing the music. That was really fun, man.
Thank you, man. It was killer, man. I loved it. That was awesome what you did. I have 13 entries, and yeah, if anybody here hasn't jumped on, it's the acoustic quarantine one. I'll leave it up it'll stay up, but like probably another week or so, and then I'll put the entries or the play-alongs together and premiere. It's not a challenge. It's just invite if you want to sing, play, drum, whatever. So yeah.
Foo Ninja, he's got it right.
Operator is standing by.
Right.
That's right. Yeah.
Pooh's got a good radio voice. Come on, Pooh. He's a band of voices.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. But man. I mean, it was a lot of fun collabing on that, and it's just like I said, those things are pretty fun to mess with.
Thanks. I had a blast on yours the week before. I mean, You had that
going back to the well. Yeah,
yeah.
I think it has. I don't know. I think I got 7 people that collabed on that, I believe. And so not a whole lot, but it's better than nothing. I mean, it's more than I thought was going to collab with it. Tell you the truth, I thought maybe 2 or 3, and that was it. So I was really, really happy and humbled to have the number of people that took the time to collab with the song that I did. I was like, wow, that's really awesome, man. So.
And I think too, if you do or invite for play along anybody, this is just for me. I'll just speak for me. Like, I'm trying to make sure I put in the description too, like, hey, it's in the key of E minor or whatever, so people, already know and have ideas, and just a little something to help them,
help them along, to let them know what key it is.
Yeah,
hey, Miss Janice, Janice Lala. Hey, Miss Janice, how are you?
Janice.
Thank you for hopping in and spending some time with us this evening. I was off work tonight, so I didn't have to go in, and I think hopefully things will pick back up. I mean, I'm not missing a lot of work. Instead of 5 days a week, I've been down to 4 days a week for about this makes 5 weeks now.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it's all right, man. I mean, it's okay. I'm still working. It could be worse. There's a lot of people that aren't working right now.
Right, exactly. Like I said, I work first shift, so of course I'm off tonight. But yeah, I'm only working 4 days a week till June, so I took the Fridays off to help with homeschooling and FIED, stuff like that.
That's right. Pooh Ninja says he's got to go. Thanks for hopping in, Pooh. Thanks, man.
Hey, Pooh, checking out your videos, man. I will be.
Thank you
usually
very much.
We post on Wednesdays.
Thank you so much, man. 802 Blue says he's been out of work for weeks now. I'm sorry, man. God almighty.
Yeah, it's a bummer.
That sucks, man. There's so many people that are out of work, and it's here. I know. What was it yesterday? The governor of South Carolina said he had lifted the closure bans, for places of business. That was lifted at 5 p.m. yesterday, and then the beaches were supposedly that ban was lifted at 3 o'clock this afternoon.
Wow,
my time. So I don't know. Is it too early to do that? I mean, part of me, I think that it's a little too early to be doing that, but at the same time, hey, Craig Flowers, how are you, man? Thanks for being here. At the same time, I think that, you got people that need to work. They need to make money, and you can't make money unless you go to work. So it's like, what do? Do you take a risk and go to work and be around a lot of people? I mean, you can still wear the mask and all that stuff and do whatever precautions are necessary, or do you just say, no, I ain't going back to work yet, stay home and not make no money? I mean, it's just like a double-edged sword, man.
I just think there's a lot of unknown about it, and like I said, of course, people are going to be upset. I have a mother-in-law that's on furlough right now, and I mean, it's it's trying times, and like I know Florida opened up even prior to you guys opening up, Joe, which is the beaches opened up, so it's like kind of waiting to see what happens. I just think there's so much unknown about it. They said in Korea, people that had coronavirus once are re-getting it, and
it's scary.
I don't know.
Scary.
I mean, I hear everybody that wants to get back to work. I feel for them, and I get it. But at the same time, it's like, do we know more than the doctors and the scientists? And like,
absolutely
they're
not
telling us,
yeah, absolutely not. People are. What I see here, people are. I mean, it's easy to. I'm sure this is everywhere, but here, I can tell people they're tired of being cooped up. They want to get out and go eat. They want to go to the movies. They want to do things. But it's like, look, man, it's not, in my opinion, I'm not a doctor, but in my opinion, I'm like, it's not time to do that yet.
Right.
I think it's well, Bumbleus right there, he says, what does he say? It is too early. No vaccine means trouble. Yeah, well, I agree. I agree with that. I mean, it's just like, man, I don't know, but
Well, no, and I'll just piggyback on that too. That whether you're a Trump supporter or not or whatever, but you have the president giving the order. You have the leaders, scientists, and doctors saying, it's too early, and people are opening up. There's a golf course opening up, and only like 4 people at a time, or 4 people every 1,000 feet, and like I totally get it. I really do get it, and people want to get back to work and get going, but there's just such a lack of information on this. Vintage sounds. Where did I get my lights under the couch? They're just LED lights. I ordered them off Amazon. They're remote control strip. What you can't see is I have them also behind my computer here.
that's what I have up here.
Mhm.
Vintage sounds. That's what I have up top. I got the LED strip lights, which are really cool. And I got the idea from Mr. Stafford right there. I saw his lights. I was like, wow, that's pretty cool, man. And I did some research, but I didn't mean to interrupt you, David. Go ahead.
No, not at all. I was just gonna say, and then on the couch, it has a sticky backing, but it doesn't stick good enough. So I took extra like sticky, gluey Velcro and kind of stuck it underneath there because otherwise it doesn't stick that good. But yeah, I think between them, I don't know what you paid, Joe, between that and my computer, I think it was like $40, something like that.
Yeah, they're very cheap. I mean, there's all kind of brands you can choose from, so they're very affordable. And it's just I just think it looks cool. I thought it would add something extra to the room, and it does. It gives it a little bit different atmosphere,
Like I said too, and not to bounce around here, but I'm not trying to make anybody mad either, saying maybe I think it's too soon. It's just I have my job. I've been working nonstop. So again, I also can see my other family members that are furloughed, and it's like, so I totally get it, and I feel for them. I really do.
Oh yeah, I mean, my wife, the only place she goes is if she has to go. Like she had to take one of our dogs to the vet. Our dog had to have a surgical procedure done. Had to be done. I mean, it had to be done, or the dog was going to die. So. Right. Going to the vet, they come out and get your animal and they take it back in, and she left, and they called her when the procedure was done, which was quite a few hours later. And so, she did that, and she went to the store. She's got gloves. She actually found some masks online last night, and she ordered 2 boxes. And believe it or not, those boxes were $50 a piece.
Wow.
I can't remember how many masks come in. It's a lot of masks, I should say. But so, I mean, we do have the gloves and all that stuff, but, she only goes to like the store or, the vet, and that's it. That's it. She's usually always here at home. And, right. But I don't, the only place I go is work and then back home.
All right. Your situation's like mine. I mean, my kids are out of school indefinitely for the school year. My wife is still working, but she cannot have contact with her clients, participants, or whatever. She's a social worker, so it's actually causing her to do a lot more phone calls. But my whole point of this is my kids are home, she's home, online ordering groceries, everything sanitized outside before it's brought in. So I'm the only one that if something comes into my home, I'm going to be the one that brings it in because I'm working. So I really have to try to follow that social distancing.
Yeah.
I have sanitizer running through my blood right now. I mean, I'm just constantly, and then we ran out of that. Then we're using the sprays and, the face mask, and it just, I mean,
you have to, man. I mean, at least you're taking the proper precautions. There's a lot of people that aren't doing that, and Gabriel Tone Guitars. Hey man, I missed you. I'm sorry, David. I just wanted to.
Oh, his
give him a
comment
shout
didn't come up right away. I had to prove it.
Oh,
He just
okay.
said scary shit, and I was like, "Yeah, it is." And I was like, "Oh crap,
It
it's not
is.
approved," so it didn't show up.
Yeah, I didn't. Well, you said, "Hey, Gabriel Tone." I was like, I don't even see him in here. And then now, okay, I see now. But
I'm not doing a good job of moderating. Sorry.
no, dude, you're fine. I didn't see it either. It's all good, man. But yeah, this is Jimmy Biter. He makes an interesting comment. He says, I'm supposed to have shoulder surgery. God, that's a tongue twister for me. Shoulder surgery, but it keeps getting postponed because of the virus. And that's a good point because, I'm sure there's a lot of other people that have to have certain surgeries, and this got postponed too, unless it's life threatening or something. I'm sorry, Jimmy. That sucks, man.
Yeah, man. I don't know, Jimmy, if you knew about my channel a year ago or so, but I had a major shoulder surgery, and I was off of work almost 7 months. I blew my rotator out and tore a muscle really bad. They took out 2 spots of arthritis, 2 bone spurs. My tendon snapped off all the way up in here. They had to go underneath the shoulder blade, grab the muscle, reattach it, cut off part of my shoulder blade, anchor my tendon back in, and luckily they could tie it back into where it snapped off from here to here. But man, I feel bad for it. I had back surgery in 2012, and I was back to 100% in 9 weeks. And I thought that was hell. That was a cakewalk compared to my shoulder surgery and the rehab. Just so many moving parts in your shoulder. It even screwed up my nerves. I'd put a guitar on me, and it was horrible trying to get a guitar on as long as it was electric and not acoustic, because I felt like my stuff was ripping apart in my shoulder. To be able on acoustic, I could just lay my arm and rest it on that electric and start picking. But it even screwed up. It took a while to be able to hold on to that pick right again. It screwed up my penmanship. So it all comes back. But I don't know what you have. Well, excuse me, what kind of surgery you have, Jimmy, coming up. But mine was torn, severe torn rotator, and
Man.
Oh, and then they cut and cauterized one of my bicep tendons also. It was out of the track so far. They said I used to do a lot of weightlifting in sports, and it just won't stay in the track. And that's a common practice, I guess, is cutting it, cauterizing it.
Wow, man.
He just had surgery on the same shoulder a year ago. Dang.
Dang. 802, thanks for being here, man. Have a good night. He's going to turn in. That's cool.
Hey,
I hate to hear
night.
that, Mr. Biter. That sucks, man. Damn.
You know what else I did when I got laid up from shoulder surgery? Not to cut. I mean, like Jimmy too. Like it was a great opportunity for me to learn some DAW programs and some other, because I'm not real tech savvy. So it gave me a really good opportunity to watch tutorials on stuff and learn some things that I normally would never have time or the drive to learn. So,
wow, yeah.
I mean, just
a great time to catch up on some stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, just to come up with
some things
positive. Too. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Thank God for YouTube and streaming services, right?
Right.
Man. Miss Janice says her guy's getting surgery on his arm on Thursday. Oh my goodness. Well, good luck.
Wow.
Hope everything goes well there, Miss Janice. Oh man. Jimmy Biter is supposed to get a full joint replacement. Oh my
good Lord.
That's what he's going on with his shoulder, man. Holy smokes.
Oh my good Lord. Isn't that rehab where you have to actually go stay in a nursing home? Not and just because of the rehab? I mean, that's like
I have no idea. Wow, that sounds pretty freaking serious though.
Maybe that's knees, I'm thinking, but my God.
I don't know, man, but man.
What are they gonna do? Put a titanium one in?
Holy smokes, man. Man.
I knew a guy that had both shoulders replaced and they put titanium in.
God almighty, man. Mm-hmm. I couldn't imagine. My goodness. Wow. Oh, thank the Lord I haven't had to do anything like that. My dad, when I was a kid, he had both of his knees had to have major surgery and all that stuff. And nowadays, it's nothing if you hear somebody that has to have a knee replacement or something like that. It's you just never know. But advances in medicine have, I think, made things easier than like it was what my father went through when I was just a kid, man. I was just a little kid, and I still remember my dad being laid up in the hospital bed when he had his knees operated on. Damn. Jimmy Biter says, in the meantime, I play the guitar regardless of the pain. The recovery time is shorter for a shoulder replacement, he says.
Oh, okay.
Miss Janice says her husband's upper arm is broken and has been for almost 10 weeks.
What?
The way they that's incredible. The way they treated him didn't work, and they're going to have to I accidentally hit something
Put a rod
on the phone.
in or something.
Put a rod in it, and my chat disappeared. Okay, put a rod in. Oh my goodness! Wow, man. Good luck for your husband, man. Our thoughts and prayers are with him, Miss Janice. That's yeah, and that's kind of like the one place. I mean, I this is just what pops into my head. It's kind of like God bless the men and women of the hospital staff and the nurses and the doctors, because without them, we would all be in bad shape. But part of me is like, man, the last place I want to be right now is in a hospital or around in a hospital. I mean, you know what I mean? Around other people. I'm not saying about the staff, but it's just like, you just don't know. I mean, this stuff has caused such a panic. I'm like, Lord, I don't want to go to no hospital if I don't have to.
Right. Well,
I mean, but I'm not saying it's not sanitary or nothing like that, but it just gives you that. It just, I don't know, kind of puts that little bit of panic in. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. My sister's an RN, and both my kids are covered in poison ivy right now.
Oh no!
Like severe, and I don't get poison ivy bad. And but I was like, we had the steroid cream that was the one's recovering good, and the other one's like, you gotta quit itching it, and putting Calamine on it and the steroid cream. And I told my sister, I'm like, my God, I don't want to have to go into the clinic. She's like, well, the one side of the clinic, anything respiratory, they go in there. All other issues, they have you enter from another portion of the clinic, which I would still put an N95 mask on all of us. But at least the clinics are, I mean, it's like checkpoint. What are you here for? Respiratory this way. You know what I mean? So it's, and she's even moved up to a different isolated floor right now, working there. And, because she's more of like, she's been there so long. She's like the lead, whatever. So she's on the phones more than anything. And, but yeah, so I'm like, well, I guess if we have to, we're just gonna, we just have to go in, and because to get like an oral steroid, you have to be seen. Craig Flowers says poison ivy is invisible. Oil, rub it off with a thick washcloth as it were mortal. Well, right. I mean, I don't get it, and what happens is when I do get it, it's a little patch, and like if you can find pure mud, that's what Calamine Lotion's doing. It just, if you can dry it out and suck that out, it works great. But some people, like my dad and my brother and my sister, me and my mother does not, we don't get it. My wife gets it really bad. My kids, obviously, it just turns into like, it's insane. I mean, it's insane. It went all the way up past her knee, and it's like, I don't know. And see, we have woods around here, and they started making forts because they're not in school. And so you discovered the washcloth trick, and she stopped. I got to read that one more time. He says it's invisible oil. Rub it off with a thick washcloth.
As if it were motor oil.
So you're just saying scrub RC, and we even have a special old school bar soap that's the major sterilizing soap. So, yeah. I've even used isopropyl before on it, 99%, like rubbing alcohol, but it's even stronger.
Right. Jimmy Biter chimes in. He says all the clinics and such around here or his area are only accepting critical cases at the moment, and I'm sure that's probably a lot of locations as well, I would imagine. Where state do you live in, Mr. Biter, if you don't mind me asking? Just curious.
Yeah, I heard a very interesting topic on the radio today, and the DJ's got a lot of heat over it just from a conspiracy group, but I can touch on that in a minute.
Yeah, okay.
Craig says he Googled it, found a video on it.
That's right. It's not the rash that spreads, it's the oil that spreads.
I can't get my 11-year-old to quit itching it. Putting it, she's like, you have to stop.
That's what makes it spread. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Mr. Biter's in Montana. Okay. Thank you, sir, for sharing that. What was you wanting to talk about, David? What was you saying?
Well, I mean, just since we're talking about COVID and everybody getting out a little bit, did you there's another message I didn't Michigan, the governor, they're protesting in Madison here in Wisconsin a little bit too about getting back to work. And the DJ here in Madison, the rock station, JJ, always like, I would have tear gassed him. Oh my God, did that boom into a big thing? And so because we're all talking about, taking precautions, and here people up there protesting, and some are protesting about getting everyone back to work, and they're wearing their N95 masks. It's like, wait a minute, are you just a hired protester? Like, what's going on? And he's just like, if I was the governor, was it Michigan? He's like, I just would have tear gassed them. And man, did that set a fire under a lot of people, let me tell you.
Man. Golly.
But I mean, yeah.
Man,
a lot of people become experts.
Yeah. And I'm here to tell you, I'm not one of those people. I'm no expert on anything. Not at all.
No, me neither. I mean, that's what I'm saying. That's my point, is a lot of people, like, all of a sudden don't want to listen to the scientists and the doctors and the president.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Yeah, it's yeah, it's just scary.
I want everybody back to work as much as the next person, but
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, the economy's taking a hit. That's for sure. I mean, look at, even with my job, like I said, in the beginning, well, I don't know if that's the proper way to say it, in the beginning, when all this stuff was starting to peek its ugly head, the milk business, for whatever reason in this area, it was booming. I mean, it was going crazy. And then here lately, it's starting to slow down, man. It's starting to slow down a lot. And I was like, whoa, man. And then my wife told me she saw on TV where dairy farmers are dumping milk out because they can't get it sold, or the certain dairies can't buy it, or I don't know, man. But I do know the dairy I work at, they are real. I mean, even without this COVID crap we're talking about, on a normal basis, that is a huge sanitation deal at that dairy, because that's a big deal. They don't play around,
Yes,
so
sir.
I can only imagine what the regulations are, how heightened they are now. So
right, exactly, Jim. And see here, I saw Bumbleless. Yeah, he's not paranoid, cautious. Exactly. Craig Flowers, did you see that, Joe? He said he's alternated a lot of people. Alienated. Sorry, I don't have my glasses on. Alienated. Feel your channel is being boycotted. Don't feel like that. People are just oversaturated with social media. My views and my likes are way down, and it could
same
be
here.
Yeah.
Same here. Oh yeah. I think that I really think, when this stuff started, again, there I go with that phrase, but YouTube, people just flock to YouTube and Netflix and all kind of streaming stuff. And then now, a month or so later, people are tired of watching YouTube. They're tired of they want to get out of the house. My wife, when I go to work, my wife she says this, it all starts with a sigh. I guess I'll just sit here and be bored out of my mind. I'm like, honey, you're in the safest place possible.
Right.
And I said, I don't want to go to work, but I have to, we got to pay the bills,
Yep.
And,
I mean, what are you going to do?
But I think people are just kind of burnt out on watching stuff on YouTube. I mean,
content is there's a lot more content, right?
There is. I mean, there's a lot of people doing streams such as this. A lot more people putting out videos, like you said, and people are really double timing their uploading content. So, our content uploads, I should say, and I don't know, man. I don't even have time to watch the little bit of YouTube that I do watch. I mean, certain channels. I mean, in this guitar community or whatever people call it. I mean, I just don't. There's not enough hours in the day. I'm trying to create my own content for my channel. It's hard for me to get around to everybody else to spend time on their channel, and I know that's probably not what people want to hear. But it's like, if you're a content creator, you're constantly trying to put content on your channel.
Right.
And when you work the hours like you and I work and other people, it's hard to do that. It's hard to go to other chats and say, hey man, this and that. I try to do that on a handful. I really try. I really do. But I can't be in every stream or every chat. And I just can't do it.
No, and I think that's fairly normal. I mean, when you're a working man and a family man, and the rest of the people are quarantined and your family is, and like you said, it's oversaturated. I mean, we just do our best. But Craig Flowers, I totally know what you mean, because I'm like, damn, I only got 34 likes. Like I haven't had that few of like I had 100 subscribers, and it's like, wow. But anyway, Andy Dion's in the house.
Andy Dion, Andy? Man, how are you doing? Thanks for jumping in, man. Real quick,
we say hi to Headstock.
Headstock Karen's in the house. Thank you, Headstock Karen. Real quick, everybody, we have phone line is open. I know I put phone lines. I don't know why I put phone lines, but we got a phone number up on the screen. If you would like to be part of the show and call in and chat for a few minutes, you're welcome to do it. We're just hanging out with Mr. Stafford here, just talking anything and everything. Guitars, music, COVID. You can't go a day without hearing about COVID. Guitar strings, all kind of music. We're just doing a whatever kind of deal tonight. And I thank Mr. Stafford for taking the time to spend with me tonight. And if you look in your PayPal, you'll see that deposit of $5,000.
Thank you. My pleasure. $5,000.01, please.
Yeah.
And this stream brought to you in part by PayPal. Pay safe with PayPal.
Yes.
Thank you, PayPal. Thanks for the sponsorship. Wow, that's awesome, man. That is so cool.
I can't make banners. I'd be making sponsored banners right now.
Oh, no. Gabriel Tone, let me look at some of the chat. Gabriel Tone Guitar says, Michigan folk never miss a chance to tear gas Badgers.
Dude, we'll tear gas Michigan's ass all day, man. I said tear gas them and shoot them with beanbags.
Oh, my goodness. Headstock Karen says, hey, guys, Badger bounce back for Wisconsin. Wow.
Yeah.
Craig Flowers, I spend like every week just being mean to, everybody. Craig,
why not, man?
Craig Flowers also chimes in. He says, I put up a cover of Black Dog 3 days ago, and it has like 32 views. It's so hard not to think I was too mean. And again, like I said, man, for whatever reason, man, it's hard to get any kind of thing going on YouTube right now. If you're a content creator, and you're trying to put up videos, it's tough, man.
Well, it's
tough.
hard not to take it personal, right? Because you put a lot of time into your content and work. I mean, in general, people put some work into their content. And then in your mind, there's some few key players, no matter whoever they are, you're thinking, oh, I can't wait to hear the response or this and that. And all of a sudden it's like, they haven't watched it. They haven't watched it. And it's like your mind starts going, you're thinking, what a prick or this and that, not realizing, you don't know what they're doing or what they got going on. And then it might be 3 days later and they show up and see it. And they're like, oh, cool. Because I'm just saying, man, I mean, I get it. And it's like, you have to keep that mentality that it's internet saturated. I mean, it's saturated.
Oh, yeah.
And you can't even try live streaming from your phone. Take like a 20-second live stream. It'll take like 20 hours for your phone to upload it.
We talked about that the other night, man. A lot of times I'll do a live stream when I'm on my 30-minute break at the branch in Myrtle Beach, but I leave it unlisted, so it's not a public stream, and that's really something cool if nobody's ever tried that. If you want to do like a test run on your, if you want to stream live or something, if you're able to do that, I've done it with StreamYard. I did that with David this past Sunday.
Yeah, buddy.
I was broke down, had a blown tire, and I started a StreamYard stream from my smartphone and sent David an invite. And I had my Bluetooth earpiece in my ear, and I was able to use that for a wireless mic. But anyway, to get to my point, when I think we was on the stream for maybe 10 minutes,
probably, maybe
something like that, 10, 15 minutes, if that long. And then we got done, and I went, upload or whatever to my channel, and it took, like David said, it took like 18 hours till I saw it on my my list of videos. So I don't know what all I can guess is YouTube is just bogged down with video uploads. Now if you do it on your PC or laptop, it doesn't take that long to upload, but for some reason on a smart device it takes a long time. I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know why either. I've seen Headstock, Harlem in there. Yeah, I'm up Madison, Wisconsin. So yeah, if you're down, you're about 72 miles, maybe 70. He's from Wisconsin also.
Awesome.
Fellow cheesehead.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Oh my goodness. 2 and 3 chord jams in the house, brother Don.
2 and 3 chord jams has made it to the show.
Here, Don, I'll bend the bill. It goes right back.
Bend that bill, boy. And let's see what's going on in the chat, man.
Oh,
Gabriel Tone Guitars. I'm not posting jack squat. The other guys are too good. Hey man, post content, man. Don't let that deter you at all. Just don't do that.
I just need to take a vacation so I can watch more content.
Oh man, if I can make it through next week, I will be on vacation. Absolutely.
Leo Metal Guy. Hey man.
Leo Metal Guy, is he in here? Hey man, what's going on, Leo? Thanks for jumping in very much. Thank you so much. Here's an interesting comment. Andy says, I read 60,000 new songs go up on Spotify a day. 300 hours of video is uploaded to YouTube every minute.
Damn.
So yeah, YouTube is over flooded right now.
Wow. Yeah, because we had a campfire Sunday night. I was gonna Thursday. Yeah, it was Tuesday. I was gonna go live from my phone. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I'm glad I didn't, because I probably would have just been able to process now.
Well, you would have been able to see everything live as when you were doing it and at that moment, but
oh yeah,
you couldn't have watched it back for 18 hours or so.
Right.
That's funny. Okay. Don says it's 3/4 to you, Mr. Stafford, not chord. Uh-oh. Dave's like, I can never live that down.
I never did call you 3/4. It was chords with an S.
I'm the one that thought he said quarters. So
He was wearing them damn earbuds.
That was yeah. Blame it on the earbud.
And
Man.
I'm mobile.
That's funny. Let's see. 2 and 3 chord jams. He says, "Make no mistake, I love my Stafford hat." That's awesome.
Yeah. We had 99-cent per gallon gas here, but it went away. It's back above $1 now.
Oh man, ours hasn't been. The lowest I've seen it is $1.29. That's about halfway to work. But right here at the house, it's $1.35. Yeah, and it's $1.29 for it. So yeah, I haven't even seen 99 cents. So that's awesome. Bumble says, "Can we keep the 99 cent a gallon when this is over?" That's going to go back up, I would imagine.
Read 2 and 3 chord jams below there. He's got it low as what?
79 cents.
Man.
Holy smokes, man. Wow. Man. That is low. That is cheap. That is low, man. That's when I was in my 20s, and that's the cheapest I remember seeing gas. And there was no kind of crisis going on or nothing like that. It was just gas was just low. And I remember at that point in time, that gas station I guess they just were having a sale. I don't know, however they do it. But it was 75 cents a gallon. I won't forget that. It was like that for maybe 2 or 3 days, and it went back up to like 95 cents a gallon or 90 cents, whatever it was. But back then, it was unheard of for gas to be, $1.50 or even $1.25. It was always, 99 cent, 89 cent. It always hovered around there for years. And then that one time I saw it for 75 cents a gallon. I was like, what? I'll never forget that. I remember looking at the marquee at the convenience store. I said, boy, you won't never see that again. Too bad they didn't have, smartphones with video cameras back then.
Right.
That'd have been something to keep, but I mean, I don't know. Jim Guidry. Hey, Joe, Dave, and everyone. How are you doing, Mr. Jimbo? Thanks for hopping in and saying hello, man.
Hey, Jim.
Mitch Heyman. Mitch Heyman's in the house. That's awesome. Thank y'all for jumping in. This is just a unscheduled live show here. Dave and I were talking, and I said, man, do you want to go live? He's like, hell yeah, why not? Let's just go for a 3-hour stream. I said, are you sure? Yeah. Are you sure you want to do that, man?
I might be tired in the morning if I do that.
Wake up, David. Let me call in.
I made $5,000 in 1 cent though. My PayPal.
Yeah, that's right. Thanks to
PayPal for sponsoring this live stream. Use PayPal to pay safely. And now back to you, Dave.
Maybe I can get my sponsor to kick in too, a little J-Rag.
Oh, man.
Andy Dion says he was posting videos on Facebook and Instagram. Andy, I'm about ready to delete my Facebook page. If I take a picture of what I ate for dinner, I'll get more likes than something I worked my ass off on.
Isn't that awful? That is that is crazy, man. I deleted my Facebook. I've been gone from Facebook now for probably over a year.
Nobody wants to click and watch a video. They want to speed swipe, seeing what everything's going on.
That's the one thing I did notice when I still had Facebook, that if you put a link on there, nobody's going to click that. But if you find a way to put the actual video on your Facebook page, so when they scroll and they see the actual video playing, they'll watch that. It's the weirdest thing,
Well, they're forced to because it's already playing, right?
Right. But so I would find, I finally found a way to put the actual video on my Facebook page, and it got a few more views and maybe a couple more comments. But for the most part, the stuff I was putting on there was getting no traction whatsoever, nothing.
Yeah.
And excuse me, I had to pop my finger. And then it was just getting to where people were posting the stupidest shit. It's just like high school bull crap. And I'm like, this is retarded, man. And so I got off of it and deleted it,
Well, I don't know how to say this other than mother-in-laws and mothers and maybe a cousin, sister, brother. maybe it's just me, but like nobody cares about your kid, seeing your kid on there or what you ate. I mean, it's just kid picture, like, a lot of baby
Oh,
stuff.
yeah.
And it's like, unless you're a family member, I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's a woman thing too, a little bit. I don't know. But I mean,
well, I mean, it just, of course, my wife, she's on Facebook because she likes to
same with mine.
to stay connected with her grandkids and all that. And I totally get it. But to me, it just, even when I did have it, I was never hardly on there. I would post something here and there, but I was like, I don't have time to be on here. I got to work.
Mm-hmm.
Mitch Heyman says he has Facebook for family, which I totally understand that.
That's why I have it.
Leo Metal Guy says, I left Facebook 4 years ago because I hated seeing people's petty drama. I'm right there with you, Leo. Right there with you.
That's what I'm talking about, Leo. That's what I mean. You could put pictures of your supper, your dogs, whatever.
Yeah. Andy Dion, just a swipe counts as a view on Facebook. They're not real views. Yeah, ain't that something, man?
That's the other thing. Your video views on Facebook do not help your YouTube views.
Oh no, that's two different platforms altogether. Yeah, that's and it's kind of like again, going back to the content creator avenue. If you want to put content out, it's hard to serve two masters. Some people are very successful on Twitter. Some people are very successful on Facebook. Some people are very successful on Periscope, and some are very successful on YouTube and Instagram as well. But you just have to find what works for you if you want to be a content creator. But what I'm saying is, I don't see how some people do it. If they have a big channel, they can be successful on these other platforms as well. But I'm like, I don't see how they do it. I'm doing good to just post a video on YouTube from time to time, to tell you the truth.
Well, exactly. Being a working man and a father and a husband, I'm just trying to just stay afloat on YouTube. And
oh yeah,
I'll tweet. I have a Twitter account. The only thing I do on that is when I'm done uploading a video, it'll say, want to tweet to Twitter? Yep, tweet it. Want to share it to Facebook? Depends on the mood,
Right.
So
right.
Happy Tuesday, everybody! Right here in this pickle jar, Tennessee, real Tennessee moonshine.
The real deal.
Swig.
Tennessee moonshine.
Woo!
Easy there, big fella.
Oh.
Holy smokes! Yeah, Craig Flowers says
just a little sip.
Just a little sip, enough to kickstart.
I did take us a little sip.
Craig Flowers says, I just use Facebook to keep track of family, aunts, grandmas, and sisters, and all that. Gabriel Tone Guitar says, my guitars are my kids. There you go.
Right.
That's awesome. Jimmy Biter says, Facebook is the toilet of the internet.
Agreed. And some people really enjoy it, and that's fine. You shouldn't feel bad about it.
Oh yeah, I'm not trying to put down Facebook.
My wife loves
anything. Yeah, my wife, she's constantly got her phone in her hand on Facebook or playing a Facebook game. And that's fine. I'm not saying you shouldn't be on it. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying it didn't work for me.
Same here.
2 and 3 chord jams. Joe Wentz Project TV. Nice video with Dave. That mix was professional. Oh, it went professional, man. But it was just, I can only get it what I have to work with. But thank you very much, sir. It's very kind. Thank you.
You're right, Don. It was fantastic.
Thank you again to Dave Stafford for providing the music.
Oh,
that's awesome.
Thank you. Like I said, I have 13 people entered. It's a quarantine jam with my acoustic I did a couple of weeks ago. If anybody wants to jump on that isn't on, I'll leave it up for like another week or two, and then I'll compile everybody's and have a party premiere. So everybody's awesome. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. That would be cool. I think, like I said earlier, if you're just tuning in, we were talking about how many people have collabed with Dave's song and how many I have. I think I have like 7, and it won't be long. I don't know. I'll try to put those together and make a premiere or something like that. And I don't think nobody else is really going to hop on that, which is fine. It's no big deal. I'm very fortunate and humbled for the people who did do it. And I've never really done stuff like that. I've always participated in other people's play-alongs or challenges or whatever you want to call it.
Well, I think some of it too, Joe, is just timing of the day, the week, and
Oh yeah, of course. Like I said, I don't have time to participate in a lot of stuff either.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand I understand if it's a timing issue and I totally get it. I'm not, and I'm not trying to rush anybody. I just figured, how much longer do I need to keep that door open for that? I think, I don't know. I don't know if I have to wait a couple more weeks or I have
I
no
think it's
idea.
up to you. I mean, even like I've done this before on other people's channel, even after their premiere. Let's say like I had a list of things I had to get done on my channel and in life, and their premiere already went and everything. I was like, I never did get to do that challenge. I went and grabbed their video anyway and did it. No big deal it's still something to do. Like for me, a lot of times I'm going, what should I do for a video this week? Another original? No. Another jammed up backing track? No. A cover? And then something like invite, that's always fun. So,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I would like to answer this question if you don't mind, David. David's like, don't you dare. No,
It's your show. I'm probably talking too much.
No, You're not at all. No. Don't ever think that.
Mm-hmm.
Vintage Sounds says, hey Joe, do you have your Jimi Hendrix Strat yet? I was thinking about getting one. Now I've had a Hendrix Strat, Jamie, for quite some time. It's the white one, and it's the Fender's. I call it the Fender Hendrix Strat. I don't know if that's the proper name, but I've had it. I don't know. I've had it for probably a couple of years or so, and it's made in Mexico. It was, I think, like right at $800. It's a great playing guitar. So if that's the one you're referring to, unless there was a different one, I don't know. I think they have a different color out now, maybe, or something, or I don't know. But that's the only Hendrix Strat I have, Jamie. That's the only one I have. Leo Metal Guy, this is a very interesting. Did you see this, Dave? He says, huge channels like Jared Dines and Stevie T make a living just by posting. I could post way more if that was my only job. I agree.
Absolutely.
I mean, if that was our living, oh, absolutely. Because I'm going to tell you, man, to put up some decent content, and Dave, we talked about this before, it takes time. I mean, if you want your stuff to look good and sound good and come across in a professional manner, it takes time. You can't just set your phone up on a table and pull it off. I mean, you can do that, but it's not going to attract anything. Look at one of those like Stevie T. Just look at one of his videos and look at the editing that goes into that.
A lot.
Can you imagine the hours he puts in? Now, he's probably got it down to a system now where he can get it in a decent pace. But I mean, dude, I couldn't. I mean, I just watch his stuff sometimes, not all the time, but I watch it just to look at the editing aspect of what he's doing. And that's how I pick up on try to pick up on a lot of stuff. I'm like, let me see what this guy's doing. And I try to learn from watching that. I'm not saying that I'm trying to take anything from anybody but we all get ideas from other people,
Right. I mean, I agree, but going back to what Leo Metal Guy said too, there's Stevie T is a perfect example. Great guitar player, great content. You don't really think of it when all of a sudden there's an angle of his face up close and out, standing up, kicking this and that. But again, he's got nowhere to go, man. I mean, he that's his job. So I mean, if he's only putting out, let's just say 3 videos a week out of 7 days, I mean, that's not that hard of a work week, I mean, even if it takes him a day and a half to do one video, which I highly doubt it does, but
I don't know. I mean,
Stevie T says it takes 30 to 40 hours per week per video. I don't believe that. I don't believe. I mean, I know I've heard him say that, but I just know he's so tech savvy. I mean, I shouldn't say I don't believe that, but I kind of don't.
I have no clue. 2 and 3 chord jam says the white Ibanez pickups. Are you asking what kind of pickups are in there? I guess I have no idea. It's the white Ibanez is a Jim Jr. It's just stock pickups, whatever comes with it, sir. I'm very bad on technical stuff. I just know what guitar I like to try to play. If somebody asked me what the radius is and the scale length, I couldn't tell you unless I looked it up. But just off the top of my head, I have no idea. Craig Flowers says, I want to do your challenge, Joe. I have so many challenges backed up. It's okay, man. It's not a problem, man. It's not a problem at all. I know a lot of people like doing that stuff. And it's easy to get backed up. Go ahead, David. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I just wanted to jump in quick, too, because I don't want Andy Dion to take me the wrong way either. Stevie T, now 30 to 40 hours per week. I definitely do believe that if he's putting out like 3 to 4 videos, you know. But still, I mean, there's people doing that plus their full-time job. So, no, Andy, when I said I don't believe it, it had nothing to do with, like, I know that Stevie was saying that. And I'm guessing he probably does put out at least one every 3 days. I would guess, right, Joe? You follow him a little bit?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, he's that's another thing about if you put out content, if you want to, you want your channel to gain some momentum, you have to be consistent.
Right.
You know, you put out a video. Let's say you decide to put out a video at 5 p.m. on Wednesday. Okay. And you want to do it again at 5 p.m. on Friday. And you want to stick to that regimen, then that's what you need to stick to. Don't wait and put the video out on Thursday at 8 p.m. and Tuesday at 9 a.m. You can't be a real frenzy like that. It has to be consistent. I mean, I can't really say a whole lot, but that's just what I've been told from watching other channels. And of course, this applies to if your channel starts to grow really, really well. And you start having some really good viewership and people that can do it full time, unlike me and David Stafford. I mean, we can only do it when we have an open window of opportunity, right?
Right.
And so, yeah.
Well, like for me, I think consistency is always going to win. But for me, it just came down to, well, my goal is to get a video out in the next 3 days. So whenever I get it done, I'm just going to release it because it's like,
oh yeah. Like I said, for people with big channels, they're on a schedule,
right?
You know, because they got videos they done 2 weeks ago that are stockpiled and they got them scheduled to come out at certain times. But for me, I'm the same as you. You know, maybe I misspoke what I was trying to say, but I put mine out when I can too. I don't have a set schedule. Like I said, I can't really say anything, but excuse me, but they're fun. They're fun to do when I have the time. Andy says he loves the challenges. Jimmy, Guitar Meets Science got him hooked. And I have to say that was one of the first ones I'd done in a long time was, what was it? Can You Blues or Can You Play Blues with Jimmy? And that was a lot of fun. And I was like, man, I haven't done one of these in a long time. Mitch Heyman says, once I get settled in our new place, I'll start to participate in these challenges.
All right, Mitch. Looking forward to it. Mitch is a good guitar player.
Mitch is awesome, man. Very nice guy. 802 Blues. 6 was 9 Voodoo Strat. They have a purple one now. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Okay.
I'll be right back.
Sure. No problem. Leo Metal Guy. My man Leo says, it usually takes me a week to learn a song and then at least 2 or 3 hours just recording and editing on the video. I feel you, my friend. Totally. I mean, when I first started to get into video editing, I remember the first couple of times I tried it, I was on my laptop for like 6 hours. I had no idea how to use any video editing software. I had some crazy technique that I came up with what was the video editing software that came with my old laptop? It was it was something free that came with, I can't remember the name of it, but it was, oh my God, it was a nightmare when I look back on it now, but it was all I had at the time. And it would take me like 5-6 hours, man, to do a 4-minute video, you know, and I would record the video on my smartphone. I'd use it for the camera, and the sound would go direct into a multi-track recorder, and then I had to sync up the audio with the video, and that was always a really tedious task to get that to work. And then all that was eliminated when I discovered the Zoom Q8 camera. So now I can record the audio and video in one shot, and it eliminates that real tedious task of syncing up video and audio. A lot of people still like to do that, and that's fine. But in my opinion, why go through all that stuff that drives you crazy when you don't have to? You know, this camera eliminates all that stuff. So I'm very thankful for that. Let's see. Mr. Flowers says, I spend 2 to 4 hours recording, then 4 to 8 hours mixing, then 1 to 2 hours video editing and rendering. Yeah, it's a time consuming process. He also says, when I have all day and night to work on music, I can put out a video every day. That's right, man. We all wish we was in that boat, but it's
exactly.
Leo Metal Guy said he just noticed the shirt. Yeah. Jack Butler from Crossroads, man. Mitch Heyman says he does it for the fun of it, and he loves it. I do too, man. I'm not out to set any kind of goal on YouTube. I do videos because I love to make videos. That's it. It's fun for me. What about you, David?
Well, exactly. I think it's easy to go down that rabbit hole of getting sucked into, and I'm only speaking for myself, of like an angle of a little bit of the competition side and keeping videos pumped out and trying to continue that sub growth. And sometimes you got to sit back and be like, I am doing this for fun, and I'm not in a band, and that doesn't work in my life right now. And yeah, I mean, the odds of making it like big in YouTube are really slim. So you just gotta, for me, it's all about, hey, I've met some absolutely amazing, wonderful people on this journey.
Oh,
everybody in these chats, you, Joe. I mean, the list just goes on and on and on.
Thanks, man. Same here. Yeah, I really appreciate your friendship and your kindness. I mean, I'll be honest and look at the camera and look at y'all in the eye right now and say I've made friendships on YouTube and I've lost friendships on YouTube. It's went both ways. You don't click with everybody. There's people that I thought were cool. They probably thought I was cool, and we just didn't click. We didn't get along, and we parted ways. We blocked each other's numbers. That's fine. I don't wish nothing bad on those people. I wish them the best in the world. But some people, man, some people you just have to be leery of and watch out for, really, because they're just not going to do you any good. Mitch Heyman, real quick, wants to know, what do I edit with now? What program I use? I think this is how you pronounce it, Movavi. Video editing software. I got it. I had Movavi on my old laptop. It was a cheaper version, Mr. Heyman. And when I get this new laptop, I upgraded and got the more expensive version. It had a little bit more bells and whistles, more things it could do. Still wasn't that expensive, in my opinion. So that's what I use. Movavi I'm really happy with it. Once I messed with it for a while, because I was like, I don't know. What do I do here? So I just kept tinkering around with stuff and trial and error. And now it's, I love it. It's really easy to use for somebody like me that has to get something done within a decent time frame. It works. It's called Movavi. There's different packages you can get. You got like a $50 package all the way up to maybe a $200 package, or maybe even higher. I'm not quite sure, but that's what I use. Movavi is what I use. What do you use, Dave?
Is this for video or the DAW program?
Video editing.
So I have an iMac. So for the longest time, up to just a couple months ago, all I was using was iMovie, and then when I started getting into multiple camera angles to synchronize everything, became much larger chore. So I spent the money and I bought Final Cut Pro, which coincides with my Logic Pro X. So those two DAW programs work really good. They're very compatible. So far I've really liked it. It was a little pricey, but it's made my life easier. And again, it's not like I'm out gigging and doing all that. So I figured, hey, a little bit of money, makes my life easier.
Yeah, you'll be thankful in the long run. I
Yeah,
would think.
what's Mitch say? He uses DaVinci
I believe. Yeah,
Resolve 16.
I used DaVinci Resolve 16. Okay, that's awesome.
There was something up in the chat earlier.
Yeah, there was something Andy I was wanting to touch on. He says XMN told me about Guitar Meet Science Funk Challenge, and that introduced me to all you guys. Well, that's awesome, man. Craig Flower says bands just don't work anymore. It seems like it doesn't fit me right now. It just doesn't work for me. You got to have the ample time frame to be in a band. I just don't have that kind of time, man. The only reason I'm doing this tonight is because I didn't have a run tonight. I'm not working, so otherwise I'd be trucking it up the road trying to get back home. But anyway, anything else you want to touch on, Mr. Day? We've been on for an hour and 45 minutes. I know you got to get into bed. It's after 11 your time.
Yeah. Sorry, I got the hiccups.
No, it's okay, man. Leo Metal Guy says he uses Movavi for his videos and Reaper for his DAW. That's awesome. Very cool.
Yeah, like I said, it's nice to see everybody, and it was just kind of a surprise going live. But like I said, it's everybody just stay safe. I don't have a whole lot more. I mean, like I said, I probably should get going to bed at some point here, but
yeah, we're going to get off here. I know you got to get into bed. I don't want to keep you up, man. I know you've been struggling to get sleep the past few nights, and here I am keeping you up another night.
No, I mean, the problem is I'm awake. I feel great, but I'm like, in the back of my mind, I'm going, yeah, you should probably, but I mean, as long as a guy isn't like getting hammered or something, you're fine. There was something I was going to touch on earlier, and I can't really remember right now, but yeah, so Final Cut Pro, and I don't know, it works good with the different camera angles, but Metalhead Hippie just went live. All right, Don, he's taking off. It sounds like going to see Metalhead Hippie.
Yeah, if y'all wanna scoot over there to check him out, feel free. And thank y'all for stopping in here and chatting with us for a little bit on this little live
Thumbs
show.
up.
Yeah, thank you again to Mr. Stafford for sticking this out with me. I really appreciate it. And y'all look forward to I think my next live stream for playing will probably be not this Saturday, but next Saturday. So I'll put a thumbnail up to schedule it. So put a reminder out there if you want.
And if everybody could be so kind, make sure to hit that thumbs up.
Yeah,
because Joe's the man.
Nah, man.
Man. Oh yes. Oh yes.
No. Just love to have fun and
me too, man.
Play some music and talk to some good people, man. So
that's right. Everybody in the chat is really good people. So.
Yeah, thank y'all for being here. I really appreciate it. God bless y'all. Be safe. Any last words, David?
Should we plug the show for Friday? I didn't make a thumbnail up. Friday night will be live on my channel. Yes.
Stafford's Music Studio will be live on his channel 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. in his time zone.
Central.
Thank you very much. I should know that, but I didn't know that. And y'all come on over there and hang out for a while. We'll have a lot of fun with R2 will be along with us as well.
Yep, Joe and R2. So, yep.
That's right. All right, everybody. God bless. We'll see you next time. Take care.
Bye, guys.
All right. Bye-bye.